from a primary treatment program, maybe in the United States. They could come to the program from one of our ECHO programs. They can come to our program from home. They can, we've had students come to Echo Springs, Portugal and transition to places like Cascade Crest or even back into Idaho or Utah. So, Echo Springs, Utah can be used as a standalone, and it can also be used as a continuum of care. It really depends on the student. So here's the basics. So who are we working with in Portugal? We can work with ages 17 to 26. That is different than what we can do here in the States when we're really having to work with, in both Idaho and Utah, 18-year-olds and up, but we can work with 17-year-olds in Portugal as young adults. So 17 to 26. The program is designed to be 90 days. We are working into wanting to stay longer when we can and when it's possible. And they don't have to stay exactly 90 days. So it's not 90 days or else. It can be 80 days or 75 days. What we wouldn't recommend is anything like, we wouldn't recommend a month coming to Portugal. By the time you get there, get acclimated, get involved in the programming, that would be too short of a stay. But 90 days is an average stay. So, planning on 3 months. The cost is $550 per day. And that is all inclusive of mentorship 24/7. So it's staffed 24/7. It includes individual therapy at the beginning and end of the week, which Victoria will talk to you more about, group therapy, family work, and all of the weekly adventures. And I'll show you the schedule here in a moment just to show you the container. And of course, this is just a high level overview. Victoria will be getting more into the nuts and bolts about how we deliver the experience on a week by week basis. So it includes the weekly adventures, but also life skills building. So what gives Echo Portugal the flavor of what we have to offer in the States is our young adult curriculum. Throughout the week, we are introducing classes and deep diving into the Enneagram. We have what we call a looks class, which is really looking at the patterns of your life. We teach DBT skills in a class. And we're deep diving into relationship development and really the psychoeducational model that we have had in Idaho for many, many years, and that grew into Utah. And so that same curriculum has been integrated into our programming in Portugal. So the basic model is this. Let me go to this slide first. This is just a really basic week of the main components of what's included in a student's experience throughout the week. Every day starts with mindfulness and activity. But the part of the week begins at the farmhouse, where you'll see shortly where Victoria is at right now. And they stay there for several days where they do their therapy, they connect with their family, they do planning and packing for their weekly adventure. Every week it's a different adventure. So, they have this place where they're coming where they can reset, regroup. They do go grocery shopping. They get weekly stipends. So they do plan and learn how to cook, how to live together, how to operate their daily lives and how to plan for these adventures. They're also a part of planning the adventures. We had one student who really wanted to go deep sea fishing, and so we were able to pull that together for him with the group's assistance. So they are a part of planning these activities as well. And then for at least 3 days out of every week, they are exploring Portugal, and we use the entire country of Portugal for our adventures. So all over, we do castle exploration, we do surfing, we are rock climbing, rappelling, we do all kinds of water adventures. You'll see more about that in just a moment. But the way that we have created the container for these young adults to not only explore the country of Portugal, but explore their inner selves and really work on the developmental frameworks of what it means for them to be a young adult and to be fully expressed in their lives. And this is how we have contained the programming week by week. You'll see on the weekends that we have our Echo Looks classes. One of the classes that we have in Echo Portugal that's different than what we do in the United States is our Portuguese language class. So the students do learn some Portuguese while they're there. So with that said, I would love to hand it over to Victoria so that she can talk to you more about how we are, what these weeks mean. Victoria, you can help me bring to life how we're delivering what we deliver in Portugal.
Okay. So thank you, Chelsea. And I think you did a great job explaining a little bit of the container, and I'll go more into that. Really, what we hope to accomplish when we're working with a young adult is for them to develop a sense of who they are and actually not only, find themselves, but actually like who they are and have a sense of self-worth. And that is hard to do, but the whole program is modeled to help support that. And that is through individual, group, family work, as well as really lovely adventures, live adventures where they're challenged weekly. So in this journey to self, we're also hoping that they're able to develop an ability to connect with others in a way that they don't lose themselves. Many of our students are people pleasers, and as soon as they get into a relationship, they go underground and just know how to keep people happy. And so in that, then you'll start to see symptoms surface of depression and anxiety. So we want to help them not only have a connection to themselves, but get out of isolation and start to connect with others in a more whole way. We also want them to be able to connect to their context, if that's the family context, but also the larger world, and view how do they want to be in that context. So, and living in Portugal, immersed in a whole different culture, gives many opportunities for curiosity about differences and respect for others. So that is what we hope to accomplish. And then the next slide, Chelsea, I'll talk about really how we go about that. So our approach, we have 4 pillars, and the first pillar is very key in how we view the young adult. We view them as a growing individual that is developing and finding themselves. And we see that those that are struggling, or kind of having a little bit of a challenge in becoming into adulthood, it's due to some obstacles that got in the way of their growth. So it's important for us to be able to make sense of those obstacles. An obstacle might be a learning difficulty or neurodiversity, or it might be some tricky family dynamics, or it could be something that has happened in the past that they've, kind of repressed down and not really looked at. So the big piece of what we do is really discovering what those obstacles are, helping remove or helping the young adult digest those obstacles. And then we push for maturity through a really warm and safe container of relationships that are attuned. And this container will grow and expand as the young adult grows and gets more confidence to expand. So we're very clear what we look for with maturity, and we're talking about it, shining the light on it so it grows. And in our clarity, we would say that maturity is where one has a sense of a future orientation that's based on reality. So if I have a student that says, I want to be a lawyer because my mother says I'm good at arguing, that would not be a future orientation. We would want someone that says, I want to be a lawyer and this is where I want to go. So they're recognizing that their behavior today is going to impact their future. Another piece of maturity is the ability to be curious and see the other. I have many students that are kind of collapsed in their own little world, and they're not curious of the other, and they're not aware of how their behavior impacts others. And in that, then they have challenge having empathy for differences. So we're pushing for maturity in that way. Other signs of maturity, we look for the ability to identify emotions and then learn how to take responsibility and regulate those emotions rather than numbing from them or distracting. So that would be a key one. And then a social ethic, recognizing that their behavior impacts others. So that is our developmental model. of how we conceptualize. The parents are on board, the students are on board, and we kind of ground that and focus on the growth in that area. The next pillar is the parallel process with the family. As you all know, and research shows that if the student does incredible work within a program, and then they return to the same family context, the gains that were made in the program will be lost within 2 to 3 months. So we really feel that it's important that the family is walking alongside the young adult, learning and growing, and also learning how to create a container that supports maturity. So the family work is not at all to blame the parents or blame the family for causing it or the issues or the dynamics, but it's really to take the focus off the young adult as the problem or the one having the challenges, but to recognize that it is a family system and this is a part of the system. I had one parent say, "You don't believe I was the cause of this?" And I go, "Absolutely not, but you're too important not to be a part of the solution." So I really push the families to grow. Things we look at in family work is what are the Groundhog Day patterns that keep playing out? We also look at the emotional climate of the family. Is the family able to talk about tough emotions, or do they project and blame or placate when they're feeling anxiety? Other issues with the family is that we really recognize that often there's disconnect between family members. And so we involve siblings. We want to get the family repaired so that there's a sense of a really secure base in which the young adult can continue to grow from. The next pillar is our adventure learning, and we'll be talking more about that with pictures, but adventures are fun. You know, it is a way to balance all the intensity of the therapeutic work, but it's something that the students really look forward to, and they have a sense of agency in planning and structuring and being a part of the process of these adventures. I've seen the young adults do things that have been, I would be even scared to do, as they are doing some rock climbing or surfing or even cliff jumping, and they swear to me that it's safe, but that's what they're doing. And then a high ropes course. So there's horseback riding. There's so many rich experiences for the young adults to do. And it's a way where they can integrate their learnings that they're doing throughout the week into kind of in their development of self. The next pillar is probably one of our most important pillars. If a program is to be successful, they need to maintain the outcomes. And so our aftercare piece is really important in maintaining and sustaining the work that the young adult has done in our program. So our aftercare program is individualized. So it's different for everyone. It's going to look different. It's for the individual and for the family, because it's very, very common to go back to the familiar patterns. It's easier to do that than to make changes and shifts and sustain those changes. The aftercare program is peer and mentor supported, so it's not therapy, but it's really with these completed by people that have built relationships with the students and walked alongside of them as they were growing, and so can help support them in integrating this learning back to their own family and own community. So that is our approach. We'll go to the next slide where we'll talk more about the adventures. So as Chelsea said, the adventures, we use the whole country of Portugal from the north to the south. So Portugal, I don't know if many of you have visited Portugal. I would encourage all of you to. I came out here last summer, and I was like, I need to move there. And so that was on my list to do. And it was amazing that an opportunity opened up for me to do that. And so I could not be happier. But it is a beautiful country that offers so much to the people here. And what is amazing about the country is that the culture is very open and welcoming to everyone that comes. These are just some lists of the adventures that we do. As I said, adventures help people, the young adult, grow in confidence, helps them learn how to push their comfort zone, find resilience, learn basic life skills. Some of our adventures are repeated so that, when, I don't know if many of you have surfed, it's not an easy skill or task to learn. But when these adventures are repeated, you can first, maybe be even scared and want to use a bodyboard. But the next time you try and push that comfort zone to when you are actually surfing. All the adventures end with doing the El Camino. And that is when, depending on the group, they can do 150 to 100K hike, working as a group, going at the pace of the whole group to arrive at the cathedral. And it's probably one of the most meaningful experiences that the young adult will do. It's pretty life-changing. Some may choose never to do it again in their life, and others say, I want to do this with my mom next summer. So these adventures are very rich and make our program, actually, I think they're a piece of what makes this really a special program. So
Thanks,
Chelsea.
Victoria. And as you guys can see, we are a small program. We work with no more than 6 students at a time. Although our original heart and hope was to work with European clients, that could be a whole other presentation in terms of what's available and how to work and the education that needs to be done in our educational process in terms of being a program in Europe. We have worked with a few European clients, but most of our clients are coming from the US, from people who know and trust ECHO. And also, we have gotten referrals from GAP programs. So like Where There Be Dragons, for example, has a very good screening process. And if they have determined that a young person just doesn't have the coping skills yet to participate, or there might be something else going on with them, but they're functional enough and they have a desire to travel. They want an international experience, but they need that emotional support and growth. Then they have referred students to ECHO Springs Portugal. So let's see, somebody else is in the waiting room here. So without further ado, again, I'll remind all of you, first of all, thank you for your patience. This is the first time that we've done a virtual tour. So if there are questions that you have, or if I'm missing just big chunks of things that are important for me to mention, please type your questions into the chat and we'll wrap back up around the end to answer your questions. And without further ado, I think it's time for the tour, right, Victoria?
It is.
Great.
And we have Desiree here.
Hello, everyone.
And we also have Zach.
I'm Zach. I'm a student here.
I'm one of the mentors, and we're gonna walk you through our beautiful farmhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're in the living room right now, so it makes it a little easier. Yeah, this is our living room area. This is one of our other students, Hayden. This is where a lot of our process groups happen, our staff shifts, our therapy, therapy groups, as well as classes, whether it be health and nutrition, Enneagram class, or Portuguese language and culture, and psychoed, also known as looks class. We can take a look over here as well. You might not be able to see it all, but these are some of the things that they talked about, like what we learn here. For example, on the top, you can see a family map of my family, and just talks about like my goals and like other students' goals as well, and some photos of other students, and then our vision boards, just kind of like our values in life and like who we are and what we want to be. And like, for example, I value my family and loyalty, and that's a huge part of mine. Then next up, Do you want to take them up to the loft?
Yes, I'm gonna walk you guys up to our loft. That's a little bit secluded. And it's just the space where we have an extra bed, like in case two of the staff will stay. It's also a place to just hang out and reflect on the learnings or do some puzzle or like some art. So it's kind of an artsy spot. I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, I'll walk you back down into our main area. Back to set.
Hello again. Yeah, and here we also have our books and games and stuff. We have a little library. My parents have sent me out a good amount of books. I love to read. And we have a decent amount of downtime to connect with our peers and the staff as well. So makes it easier just to sit down and read a book sometimes or just play a game. This is the main hallway in the house. And first up, we have the bathroom. This is one of the students' names is Hayden. This is Hayden and I's bathroom. Staff uses it as well. Yeah. It's a really nice bathroom. There's not much you can say about a bathroom. First bedroom that we have is mine. As you can see, I'm a neat freak. I enjoy. I just enjoy having my own space. As well as if you look over here on the wall. I have my daily routine, my nightly routine, and my goals, my to-do list, and my sleep tracker. Some of the art I've done. Yeah, it's just my space. It's really nice that we have our own spaces. I'm grateful that there's only 3 students, but I could deal with a roommate if I needed to. I've done it in the past. And then I'll follow you to the kitchen.
Okay, next we have our kitchen with Victoria and John,
Hello.
my colleague. And yeah, this is where our dinners happen, where we sit together and chat after dinner and play games. It's just like, yeah, the kitchen. It's pretty big, I think. And our pantry, stocked pantry.
Yeah, with our washing machine and such. Then we can head out to the outdoor space. It's dark right now because it's 6:30 at night. But yeah, we have a beautiful outdoor space. We also have a very large backyard. It's very nice in the summertime and yeah, it's like perfect weather in the mornings in the summer. Sometimes it gets a little hot and right now it's a little chilly, but you can't really see it. We have a pool as well.
Yeah, the pool will be in the backyard. It's pretty dark.
Yeah, we have a back house as well for storage and stuff in the compost.
Okay. Well,
Hey, Penny.
okay. And whoop. Yeah, here are some pictures of our past students. Chelsea, you might know one or the other.
Then over here we have the pictures of us, like on our adventures and such. Just like some things that we've done, like for example, like we went and toured Lisbon. Those are like our trade passes, and we have pictures of us putt-putting, whitewater rafting, and like surfing, and just everything that we've done. I like to look back and see like how much we've really done here in the past 3 months. Then over here we have our like daily schedule, our weekly schedule as well. Like for example, tomorrow we're driving down to Lagos. We're gonna go cliff jumping on Sunday. And then we have what we're doing the next couple weeks. So we're going to Sintra next week, and then we're going to Lisbon the week after that, just to explore. Yeah, so my anxiety is lowered because I like to know the plan of what's going on. And then we have our goals for the week over here, what our homework is. Just like we have specific classes and we have to get some work done. And what like this week's is personal development or /DBT class. Our homework is about stress levels and how we can deal with them and develop better stress habits. So yeah.
Thank
I can
you.
follow you.
Okay. Then we have the second room for our students, which has also 2 beds, so space for another student. At the moment, it's Hayden's room, and this is like his work.
Then right around the corner, we have O's room. O's coloring on their bed right now.
Hey,
Um,
oh,
Can I come in?
can we come in?
The same gist. They don't actually have a closet here. They have a dresser, but they do have their own bathroom. It's the perk of having their room.
Yeah. So this is one of two bathrooms in the farmhouse. Thank you all. And then the last room of the house is our office or slash staff room. Yeah, this is where we plan our adventures and do the debriefs after. Actually, what you can see here is like some of the pieces we did in art class today. I'm not sure if you can see it. Yeah. Yeah, that's just something that we did just today.
Yeah, they also keep our technology in here. We have tech time 2 times a week to like call our families and stuff. We also get after 60 days in the program, you get your phone in the morning. That's like to research whatever you want. That's you have to like earn that in a way, but the tech time on Fridays and Sundays is for us to call our family in the afternoon and connect with them still. So it's nice to have that. And then we can head back to the living room, I believe.
Yes.
Great. And while you guys are heading back there, and are you going back to the living room to share kind of some of your experience, Zach? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
great. Perfect. Perfect. So
So
I will just say that we have 24/7 staff. So we always have an overnight staff. And then when the groups are out on their adventure, there's always 2 guides with the group, no matter how large the size. So right now we have 3 students in Portugal. Our next group is gearing up for January. So, we have one person signed up so far. We have 5 more spots to go. And although it is rolling admissions, because there are these 90-day chunks of time, there seem to be groups that gather about 4 times a year. If a group isn't full, we always have room to have somebody come in on a rolling basis. But yes, the overnight staff, we just got a question, are they awake or sleeping? And they do sleep. So these students don't necessarily need somebody to be checking on them overnight, but they are available if a student is feeling anxious or needs to talk. Okay, Zach, take it back.
Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about my experience here. Oh. No, you guys are fine. Yeah, like I got here September 3rd. I actually was enrolled in Echo Springs, Idaho, around 2 years ago, and this summer I decided to go back. I left the program early there, and yeah, I just knew I wasn't. Got to a point in my life where I was living on my own, and I was like, this sucks. I'm not doing well. And so I contacted Echo again, and John Wynn told me about Echo Springs Portugal at first. I said, hell no. But then my parents said, you should go. And I was like, I'll try it. First 6 weeks were tough. I kind of was really hesitant to start working myself. And then I blossomed from there. I became a real leader for myself. I've always been pretty attached to people, and now I'm like really on my own. And that's what I'm learning here. Victoria and Desiree, John, and all the staff are teaching me I'm learning how to be with myself, and be who I want to be, which is my work. Yeah, I've always grown up in a place where I need to be someone else, and I finally feel able to be myself, and that's what I've learned here. And I feel fulfillment out of that from this experience so far. So, yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Yeah, you did a great job, Zach. Appreciate that.
Of course, yeah. And Victoria's
who would you recommend?
of who would I recommend
Oh,
to?
right.
Who would I recommend Echo Springs to? People that like adventure and also want to work on themselves. Even the slightest bit to work on themselves. I think that this place is really taught, like being in literally a whole nother world for me, really just changed my life and made me realize that it's okay to be uncomfortable. I've gone through wilderness, I've gone through other those types of programs, but this was a whole nother ball game. Like taking a flight here and having a panic attack on the plane, I was like, holy shit, I'm really doing this. And now it's like, now I feel like, yeah, people that want to work on themselves and really want to be here is what the type of person that should come. So, yeah.
That's awesome. It's so helpful, Zach, to have your perspective, and thanks for everything that you do and how you've mentored other students and just who you are. I'm so proud of you. I know we all are. And
Thank you.
so with that said, I'd like to open it up for questions. If you would like to ask Zach a question directly, anyone here that's participating today, go ahead and unmute and feel free to dialogue here. And then we'll also bring in our staff. If you have questions for them, please feel free to ask.
Oh, we don't want the dog.
Everyone's coming in full house.
Well, I'll jump in there. I just want to say, hey, Zach, hi. I'm just super proud of you. It's great to hear you talk about Portugal and your success. So it's nice to see you. So what do you think the biggest difference is from when you were in Idaho to the Portugal program?
The containers, it's so much smaller.
Yeah.
In a positive way, like it's in the beginning, it was hard for me to go on a walk by myself because I had no idea what was going to happen. Just a slight example, but and there's not as much, there's more downtime. There's more downtime here to like enjoy other people, and it's just not always classes or just anything. There's not as much structure, which I enjoy. Well, there is structure, but you can make your own structure as well. So,
Okay.
if
Awesome.
that answers your question.
Yeah. Thanks.
Of course.
And Zach, how do you think this has helped you prepare for what's next? And can you kind of talk about what's next for you and what you're hoping for?
Yeah, what's next for me is I'll be going home right after this for 10 days. I haven't been home in a very long time, so it'd be nice. And then I go back to Echo Springs, Idaho, where I'll be living at phase 1 and phase 2. 4 days of the week. I'll be going to school. So this is kind of teaching me to be with others and just create new relationships. And I really want to create new friends at college with genuine connections, not just whether regarding partying or just substance abuse. So I'm really learning how to experience the world with new connections. So
That's awesome. Congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Would you like to ask Zach a question, or do you have questions about Portugal in general? Okay. How about anybody there would any of you in Portugal like to share anything else? Desiree or John, would you like to?
Yeah, I can just share a little bit of what I've seen in the students that have been here, and just for students coming and recognizing this totally different environment that they were in, and then just seeing the growth that has happened in the last 3 months. It blows me away when I look at Zach and when I look at Hayden, and I remember when I first met them and some of the struggles that they had adjusting and when they first arrived, and just seeing their strength now and the growth that they've really, I mean, a huge part of it is what they've brought and how the work that they've done here. But I also think it's this place and this team where we've been able to have these opportunities to work and live together, and then also face challenges together and go out and venture together and be a team together.
That's great. Thanks, John. And I'd just like to mention that most of the students, when they call, they're struggling with anxiety, depression. We do work with students who are on the spectrum, or students who are not. Really, what we're looking for when we're looking to rule out somebody coming to, let's say, a Portugal or Idaho or Utah, or maybe not at all, is if they need to be like stabilized, right, on any medication. We can have students who come with medication to Portugal, but not if they need to be stabilized. So, that kind of medication management isn't available there. Or students who would have any kind of flight risk factors, obviously coming to a different country. But we work with very similar students in Portugal that we do in the United States, but students who are feeling the need for a reset before they start launching back into getting their everyday, more practical life together. So this is definitely designed to be a reset. Not all students go back to a transitional program. Some students do go back home to college, and all students have access to that aftercare component that Victoria was talking about.
Yeah, and one more thing I do want to say, just doing the family work here has changed my life. Yeah, just working with Victoria and having her on my side. My family situation has changed 180 degrees in the best way. So like that, and I didn't know I was going to be working on that coming here. It actually freaked me out when I heard it. But now I just want to say like that's changed my life, and that's my highlight, one of my highlights of being here. So.
Thanks, Zach. Okay.
Well, I can quickly introduce myself. Like, I'm working as a mentor here as well. I'm from Germany, so like for me, Portugal as well as working with students who come from the US is like a big adventure on my side. But yeah, I can really relate on many levels with the struggles they have when they first come, because yeah, I've been in so many situations in my whole life where I experienced this this anxiety that I had to overcome. And I just see like that this is a place where like they have so many opportunities to grow. And this is what I like, what I enjoy working with, like adventures and challenges for students who might not realize their own potential, and then seeing them step up and like overcoming their comfort zone and realizing what they're actually able to do. This is like, that's my passion actually. And I just feel Portugal is a great place to be working at. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity.
Thanks, Desiree. It's been so cool to see an international team coming together, both Portuguese staff, Germany, Canada. We have people from Italy, Ireland. Like it's amazing to see the diversity of the team and coming together for that common passion of helping young adults find themselves. So congratulations to all the work you guys have done together. It's an honor to be able to have all of you as a part of our team. It's fun to see. So, and that's another part too. We do hire, staff from the EU, but we also have our trained staff from Idaho or from the States come over and work in unison. So all of operations are still held in Idaho. And then of course, we're sort of the hub, the mothership, if you will, in Idaho for our Utah and our Portugal program. So as a follow-up, like I promised, I'll send out an information sheet with just the basics and also a video that you can use to share with people. If you have questions about, Echo Springs Portugal or any of our programs, I'm your person. You can reach out to me anytime. You'll have my contact information. And I just so appreciate you taking the time out of your day to learn more about Portugal. I appreciate all of you. It's good to see your faces or your names.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.